remember when he came in to interview for a position, he showed us some of his just wacky comedy YouTube videos from college, and they're burned into my brain. And I instantly thought to myself, I was like, this guy could be on camera.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of What Are You Working On? That's the working title for this video, this podcast, etc. My name is DeGraaf, and I am here today with my good buddy, Adam Bradway. Adam and I have worked together many times on many projects. We worked together at Quality Edge, which is a building products company. He's now in the sales, marketing, video, SEO world. And I am such a fan of podcasts that get right into it. So I'm going to stop talking now, let Adam give his brief little history about whatever he wants to talk about, life, work, etc. And then we're going to try to get into the weeds on some things. Adam, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, good to be here. So like Ian said, I made Ian famous. He was famous beforehand. I remember when he came in to interview for a position, he showed us some of his just wacky comedy YouTube videos from college, and they're burned into my brain. And I instantly thought to myself, I was like, this guy could be on camera.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I made myself look good by making Ian look good
right.
on a 1.4 focal length lens, and just getting that soft touch and getting up close shots of products. And we had a good time. I mean, I think we got mocked a little bit because people were just thinking that was just two guys hanging out on a roof laughing all day. But
right. And then since then, people have learned everyone's on YouTube 24/7. So that's what it is.
I don't know if you I'll have to send you the link, but did I send you the link to the bloopers that you and I made?
Yeah, but I need to watch it again. Yeah. I mean,
there's one where you start out with a whole deck of colors, and you're like, we can do any color for you in the rainbow, any color at all. And you just throw it all over, and they just kind of fall over. We're just playing around. But
God, yeah. I mean, I think that's the truth of the whole thing is that's what everybody's doing. Everybody is watching video constantly. I keep telling this story to all these people I'm talking to, and I think I told it to you a couple weeks ago. When I went to Mexico recently, went to this small town, realized in Mexico also, everyone is on their smartphone constantly, mostly watching videos.
Yeah.
Even down to the indigenous people I saw selling crafts in the central market. They got their craft table. They're watching a video on their phone. And I just thought to myself, everyone is just on video 24/7.
So I think you make me realize something that maybe I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago we were doing is creating constant content. Right? Because we didn't want to sit in the office, right?
100%. 100%. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was I was working sort of half in, half out, and I was, waiting for the days that we could just film something. And, a lot of that content, I think, lasts for decades.
Well, right? I'll just share the screen real quick. So just on the QE channel, let me just tap this button real quick. Here we go. There's this. All right. So there's me. There's my dad, Ben, obviously. There's me. I think filming this, I mean, this video has 18,000 views and it's 7 years old.
Yeah. The process really probably hasn't changed too much, right?
For installing that product, I highly doubt it.
But it actually even someone else, who knew about the product, but was like, hey, I know metal. I'm going to check this out.
Oh, for sure.
They could build their own system. Wouldn't be nice, but.
Yeah. And then just real quick up here, you've got, so the soffit ridge vent 6 years ago, 58,000 views. I mean, just the stuff working in the background is it's just really amazing, right?
250,000 views just in that top row.
Oh, yeah.
Content we made literally 6 years ago, and some of that stuff existed before we got there too.
Yeah, and I would be willing to bet a bunch of those people are watching every single day. That's just the nature of building products and people needing to know how to do things. And so before we keep going on video, maybe just a little bit about, correct me if I'm wrong, you taught communications, right?
Yeah, so I spent some time overseas, and the only way I could pay for my life there is to teach, because that was the only way I could teach English, right? I could barely speak it, but they let me teach it. And I came back and finished a graduate program at Grand Valley in communications. And then I can't remember, either I asked to teach or they asked me to teach. I like to think that they maybe asked me to teach, but
Okay.
they asked me to come back after the first year. So
Yeah.
I was working for an organization there called the Howenstein Center that would, for lack of a better term, it would bring in high profile political speakers, have
Oh,
events, student oriented leadership program. And so I was working there during the day and then teaching at night,
okay.
3 to 6 p.m. Um, I was teaching pretty much everything in the Adobe Creative Suite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean everything I could get my. We had the full suite. It wasn't easy to teach like Dreamweaver and things like that, but
Yeah, yeah.
we would do boot camps of Photoshop the first couple of weeks where I was in the front of the class literally saying, Control C, Control V, grab this tool, do
Oh,
this with this
wow.
tool, open up your layers panel. And there was no grading, no like, it was like you show up. If you show up, you understand the concept. If you don't, then there wasn't. And honestly, it was before, like I would tell my students this when we started each semester. I'd say you could learn more from YouTube than you can from me right
Right.
right now. You don't have to be in this class.
And how
But
long ago was that?
that was probably 7 years ago, 8 years
Okay.
ago. Um, and so it wasn't, I mean, the idea of people learning that kind of stuff, I was doing it. I was learning from YouTube every single day. But the idea of a mass world, I guess, it had only been really rolling for 5 years prior to that, last
Right.
13 years total. You
Right.
know, now now everything I need, I just ask Chat GPT to give me. We've come a long way.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That yeah, you just jumped about what,
Yeah,
8 years forward?
yeah. Well, so did my facial hair color.
Right, right. Yeah, I was actually noticing that the more you're on video, you're like, wow, this is really getting gray.
Yep,
But
yep.
I think you have to have some gray hairs before you actually know anything.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I mean, like I was talking to a coworker, and like you, a lot of people will kind of avoid like management, right? Because they just like what they're doing and they don't want the hassle of people. And
Right.
like as you age, like you become management just because of your age. People are like, well, that person's got gray hair. They probably know what they're talking about, right? And
Yeah.
once you answer enough questions for people, you're management. They always come back.
That's a really good point. I mean, I've never thought of it that way, but that's exactly
Yeah,
why we're here chatting. So just to stick to the timeline,
yeah.
you're teaching and
Uh,
working.
yep. So, and then finishing my grad program, then kind of just got burned out with being in school for the last 25 years.
Right.
Teaching, even overseas, I went to a school every day to teach, right, other than the weekends. Um, so I moved to, or got a job at Quality Edge, had no idea who Quality Edge was, what
Right.
what working for a manufacturing company. Actually, it's interesting. I was interviewing at the time and I thought it was for Meyer. I
Hmm.
thought I was going, and then basically, like on the day of, I was like, because they're right by Meyer's headquarters, right? And
Yeah.
I had been there before, and I think I don't know. I just vaguely remember being like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to an interview at Meyer." And as I get closer, I'm like, "That's not Meyer." I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just go in.
That's kind of you mean you didn't even
I knew Quality Edge had been emailing me, but I guess I was busy that day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got this thing." And then I was like, "Oh no, it's not that. It's right next to Meyer. That's why you were thinking it was Meyer. You got the two confused." So
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's actually, I mean, we didn't even really get very far down this route, but again, on the QE YouTube channel, there's a couple videos of just Scott and I just chatting about Soffit,
yeah,
just totally off the cuff, what's going on with Soffit. I mean, I remember hosting so many people for tours, and just again, just getting in the weeds on Soffit just by itself, and drip edge and ridge vent math, and yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just no, you're absolutely right. Yes, yes. So I'll just toss in here because it's my show and I can. We had an incredible team there.
it was
I
fun.
mean, it
Yeah,
was an awesome team. I have a feeling you'll all be watching this, so hugs and kisses to all of you. It was great. Um, so okay, you do the QE thing, And then what other? So what
Well,
happens from there?
you left,
Right.
and then my heart was broken. I had no reason to live anymore. So I went on a soul searching journey. And no, yeah. So, but it's an important thing to have a counterpart where you work,
Oh,
right?
certainly. Yeah.
Just an inevitable. If you're going to stay somewhere, that's what you need. But
Yeah.
I really, I was working on those loyalty programs. Remember where we were?
Right.
They were
Yes.
extremely in depth, and we had
Yes.
4 of them. And I know they never worked perfectly, but it was the most sophisticated clumping of software that I'd ever done.
Okay.
Where I had to think about, I was building websites and doing photography and stuff before that, but I had to think about how the user used every system,
Right.
go through it, test it, and make sure it worked as efficiently as possible. And I spent probably like a year doing that. And I got into e-commerce while I was doing that because we had a point system that if the user would upload receipts, ideally they'd get points and they could buy swag. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was post my time there, but I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it was a really fascinating thing. I learned just a ton really quick, and I was like, I can do this. I can do e-commerce. So I basically sought out a company locally that wanted to do e-commerce.
Yeah.
That was the goal. I went in and met with, actually interviewed with a whole bunch of companies, and some passed on me, and some I passed on, and then I went and talked, or a recruiter called me and was like, "Hey, there's this company, Kesselbaumer. Just go talk to them." And I went in, and it's a small. You went in the building, right? So it's small. I actually updated the paint to the white wall since I've been there, but before, it had some weird graphics on the wall.
Yeah.
But it was their first attempt at it, and I remember thinking like, I can't really see myself home here. And I got in the interview, and my boss Bob was like, he's like, I forget how we got to the point, but we were both kind of talking about what we want out of this job.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to have to be anybody's babysitter. Right there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work here. Like, that was it. Like,
yeah.
If you hate micromanaging people, then I'm the right guy for you.
Right. Absolutely. Because you had all these skills and you're ready to just put them to work. That's the whole deal, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Bob doesn't know anything about digital marketing. He has a long experience in sales and some marketing too, and he's got good taste. But obviously, you hire for the people that you need to do the job. So
right.
We worked on. I bought an URL, really expensive URL called thestandingdesk.com. Nobody, actually, somebody owned it, but it was like an ergonomics company that didn't do very well. It was just shuttered for a couple of years. And we spent the first year kind of revamping their B2B brand and building the standingdesk.com. And then essentially we launched in March of 2020, which is a notable time frame for other things on our cumulative knowledge.
Life journey we all had.
Yeah, right. So it was interesting. Like literally a couple weeks after we launched, I think I got back from Florida, and it was like one of the last flights that anybody really took for a while.
Oh, sure.
And so what happened is that a large market of people needed standing desks.
Right.
And we're a niche brand, right? We focus on pneumatics. We have the best electric, but electric is it's a narrow, it's difficult to compete with that type of product.
Yes.
So we make the best power-free desk. It actually is weight adjustable. There's just a lot of cool features to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've tested out the competitors, and they're poorly built. So these are designed, and the columns are made in Germany. They're super heavy duty and like perform beyond anything. So the product was really easy to get behind.
Right.
We had to have a company create all these assets, but oh man, this shopping builder that you're looking at right now took me about 8 months to build this thing.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
okay, just because we can, did you build it from scratch?
No, I mean,
No.
it's when I say build it, I mean, spend a month and a half doing research, trying out, possible builders that aren't going to work, getting super frustrated, getting lucky to find one that is a plugin that works with our hosting plan, then, you know, paying or working with them, the plugin creators, for a month
Okay.
to customize it, then hiring a third party to customize it even farther, then me
Oh,
adding all
wow.
the CSS to it to make it look right. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's not me. It's like when I build somebody builds a building, they kind of claim it, but
Yes. Yes. The site is so great. One, because it's so clean, and all these questions are answered here, right?
yeah. Well,
Which is just, yeah.
we've learned. I mean, this is an evolution, far reaching evolution from where we came. Um, I mean, those, other than the renderings, those are all people that work there and my camera. Um, and it took us we're in the third year of the brand right now, so
Right.
it took us 3 years to figure out what people want to read. It
Right.
took us 3 years to figure out how to make an FAQ that would alleviate calls, but we get calls every day. Um,
Right. Right.
e-commerce is the most interesting thing because every person engages with the product differently, and every person has a question
Right.
that's different than the person's before, even if it's somewhat close. So yeah, we could never have a big enough FAQ page, but
Right.
we just
Right.
look at our competitors and like, that's a great question to answer. We should be answering that question too.
I just want to go up to here real quick because I just really liked learning about, just talk a little bit about this, about um, the German components, but the facility is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Correct me here. Locally made tops,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Actually, so we get the metal column from Germany.
Okay.
They send us the components. So the components come from Germany. We assemble it all here. We buy the work surfaces out of Grand Haven, I think.
Right.
We're out of Michigan.
Yep.
Um, and so, yeah, I mean, it's essentially built in Grand Rapids, which,
Right.
our competitors, like if you look up the word standing desk, I mean, chances are we won't show up because we don't have the billions of dollars the large furniture companies do, but we'll show up a little bit here and there.
Right.
Um, but their desks are, they're marketing companies for desks out of Asia. So,
Right. Right.
and
Exactly.
and that's, I mean, the interesting thing is those Asian desks are, they're they're much better than even they're probably given credit for. Um,
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to break on you. I mean, they might, but chances are, if they do, they'll probably just replace them with a desk that cost $150 and
Right.
give you a brand new one. I mean, we do the
Right.
same thing, and our desks are 10 times that price.
Right.
But I mean, the one you're looking at right there, it's a pneumatic desk, right? So no power, mobile workstation. It's weight adjustable, so
Right.
you can put anything on it you want. You put a little bit in the side, and you can use a ratchet or a drill and crank it up to whatever capacity you want.
Right.
And there's nothing. There's actually only one other desk in the world that's like that, and we helped that company make it. And it's probably that their desk is probably considered the most popular of this because they've had it for 10 years, and
Okay.
we've only been advertising this for 2 years. We call
Right.
it the cloud. So
Right.
there's just that piece of product alone is a unique product that doesn't exist. Really, the other company that has this product does not do great at marketing. They sell it only B2B. So the idea, the concept, really, a weight adjustable pneumatic desk, I think, is very much in our favor.
Yeah.
But there's only two. If you're going to buy a standing desk, you're going to buy an electric desk or a power free desk, and we really own the space for pneumatic standing desk.
Got it.
That was the SEO mission over the last 2 years, is like, we need to dominate for that.
For pneumatic standing desk.
Or power free, or some variations on that. Now, thinking of search volume, the term standing desk is searched like 256,000 times a month, where pneumatic standing desk is searched like 800 times a month. So we still have to rank for the large term. We still have to pay for the large term, the standing desk in general. But we are cranking out content every day to create a site that has higher domain authority for those keywords. So we're coming at it multiple angles.
Right. I've spent a bunch of time on the site. It's extremely functional, and it's just clean and easy to use. My experience, like I was telling you, is that I had just bought a standing desk at IKEA before we started talking about this product. And, like a lot of things, I didn't know anything about what the price range was, and that it really comes down to the quality of the legs, right? And how the desk actually moves. And the one feature, I'll try to find it on the website here, but the fact that it moves around the room on wheels, at least some of the models do, is just...
Yeah, if it's power free, you could actually, I think about this all the time, like you could, put some decent like rubberized tires on that thing and take it across your yard and like into your garage, like out the driveway. Like it holds 150 pounds. So think of all the tasks you do around your house that if you just wheel one of these around. We're not quite there yet. We'll make a off-road one in the future, but
yeah, you could just do, I'm sure somebody has a video like DIY off-road casters for a standing desk or whatever. Yeah, so which is the model that has the wheels?
So all of those in that column, you can put wheels.
You can put wheels on them. Yeah. Okay.
So it's an upcharge, but
Okay.
There's videos on YouTube, just the simple idea of somebody sitting in the middle of an office and they lift up their desk and move it to a window, right? And
right. Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's just totally necessary.
But it's not always likely that's going to happen, because right now, if I did that, I would just unplug about 80 things, rip the HDMI cable out of my PC, knock a bunch of things off the shelf.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. But
it's a concept that it's, we talk about a lot of things like the speed, right? It goes up in 3 seconds, where there's some speed videos where it shows how slow an electric desk is, and it's kind of arduous how slow it is. But if you put that on Reddit, people are like, who cares about the speed?
Right.
But, it's one partial aspect, right? There's no power. You can move it around the room. It doesn't have, it's super fast, holds everything you need as far as a monitor and your laptop.
Right. Do you want to talk about the Reddit thing for a second?
Oh gosh. It's an interesting, Reddit is a trust signal, right? So trust signals are super important to people. Like, I'm looking at dog collars, GPS dog collars. So I do all these reviews. I listen to a 30-minute review of a couple on a farm that was done fairly poorly. But still, me as a video professional, I'm going to watch the whole terrible video so I can get their opinion of it.
Right.
And they were probably, and then another guy who was given, did a review of one and given the new version of that. And I watched that. And we all, that guy is more trustworthy. That video is more trustworthy than the website. I went to the website. I looked around the website. So, Reddit is a place, I think it's probably maybe the majority or the most trusted signal, because when you type in this versus that with using V dot or VS, Reddit comes up 90% of the time.
Oh, does it? Wow. That's really interesting. So Reddit standing...
Or the ads for the competitors who want you to buy their V versus that. But Reddit's usually the first organic.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay, say that...
Samsung versus Apple. You'll find 5 paid, from Apple, 2 from Apple, 2 from Samsung, and 1 from a third party or whatever.
Okay.
And then the first one will probably be, and we can check it out right now. It'll probably be Reddit. Right?
Yeah.
Or Tech Radar, right? Or, but usually Reddit does pretty good with a lot of, especially if it's an obscure thing. If it's very popular, they'll do less well, but standing desks are still probably a small portion of the market.
Right. So then going a little deeper on Reddit, what's your experience in the Reddit thread on standing desks. I mean, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. There's brands that can like they just camp there and they own that space,
Yeah.
right? So they answer every single question, and they build a community. That is
Right.
that I think that's fascinating. Is the community building aspect, and it's not something every brand can do. I see another brand. There's like two brands on that standing desk feed that really engage with almost every question.
Okay.
And one brand does it sort of ad hoc, like this is my opinion of it,
Right.
and then the other brand is very much like, here's our desk. It's at 48 by 60 inches. You can buy it on sale for right now. Please click on this link. It's
Right.
almost robotic.
Right.
And um, I'll read other feeds where people are like, they'll ask a question like, what's the best standing desk? Please don't respond brand A and brand B. Like, because they read the other feeds and they're like, all they do is just they give you their opinion. I've read your feeds. I have your opinion. I don't need your brand opinion. I need
Yeah.
other people to tell me.
Yeah.
So even if you own that space and you're making good money off of it, like people can become soured to your presence.
Right.
Like think of SEO, right? SEO is quite different than like we're really doing well for the search term. How long should you stand at your standing desk? We probably
Right.
have like 800 people today come to the website for it. Like, it's not a huge amount, but for that one
Right.
blog, it's great. It'll funnel some people in. It'll
Right.
get them retargeted down the road. They'll be watching us on social media when they leave. But it's just a small number of it, and that hits a person when they're ready for it, and not
Right.
when the brand wants to force that on them, right?
Right.
So you have to, as a digital marketing expert, you have to think about the user journey more so than really anything else. I mean,
Right.
SEO people will tell you that's the key, is think about the user journey. Now I just go to Chat GPT and I say, give me 5 headlines for this. Honestly, dude, I'm using it every single day.
Well, okay, so let's just go down that road for a second. Talking to a contracting customer the other day and mentioned to them, this is a person over 60. I said, are you aware of Chat GPT, how AI is moving forward? And they said, no, I have absolutely no idea. And I said, okay, I'm going to give you an example. I could go into Chat GPT right now and say, write up the instructions for me on how to install a steel roof. And I said, and this is the thing, it will just start writing all the instructions. There's no lag, there's no wait. It's not, it already, well, it's, grabbing the information, of course, but it's just there now sitting in front of you. So you got this discussion about, is this going to change how people search for things? Because now they just go to ChatGPT and they get the answer they want instead of a bunch of links to the answer they want.
Yep.
I'm not sure about that, of course, but yeah, it's absolutely nuts, especially when you start seeing what it can do.
I don't think shopping will be affected by it. Brands need to present themselves, and Chat GPT will never be that.
Right.
Like, I can ask it right now, like, what are the top 10 standing desks? And it will list the top 10 that show up organically. Because it's just listing what's coming out of the search engine, right?
Yeah.
So, and for things like when you say, give me the instructions of how to install a standing seam roof, it's taking an amalgamation of every blog out there and
Yes.
rewriting it really quick. But you also know that, like, so a lot of people are using this for blogs, right?
Oh yeah.
But Google is now dinging people for using AI generated content.
Right. Right.
So there's now AI to rewrite your GPT content.
I've been down that rabbit hole just a little bit, which is, yeah, there's a handful of, and we can talk about this a little bit too, but you've got these worlds on YouTube, which is where just what my obsession is and where I spend a lot of time. And the YouTube world of, okay, can I use AI to create all the content for a channel, but I know YouTube is Google. I know Google's going to run through everything and check if it's AI generated. So here's the other bot you use, like you're saying, to fool Google's AI into thinking it's human written content, but AI generated.
Well, it would work great for video. right?
Right.
So because when you get a script, you don't say it verbatim. You kind of just say
Right.
what you think of that part of the script. And I think for your content, like you could crank out a really nice long form video every day by going to a piece of your house and have chat GPT, explain to me the importance of drip edge,
Yeah.
in 1,400 words,
Right.
right? Not 50 words, 1,400 words.
So this is the interesting thing. There's not so much in building materials, but in the rest of the I just tend to say like the Zoomer video world. There's the classic AI's reading a script with a graphically animated video. Now, are you suggesting that I read the script
Well,
personally?
yeah, I would suggest that. I would say, I'm going to do it right now. Give
Yeah.
me a
Here, I think you
video,
can share if you want to share your screen. I think you can.
and it's a 4K screen, so you won't see anything.
Oh, okay.
Give me a video script on the importance of drip edge in 1,400 words. So, slow down, give it 10 seconds to finish this.
instead of 7 days back and forth on email.
Right. Research, the 30 years of knowing roofs. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. No, that's a really
So
great idea.
it's
Yeah.
giving me shot ideas. Cut to animation of water running off a roof with drip edge. Voiceover. Without drip edge, water can run behind the shingle. It's giving me shot ideas and cues.
Right.
So you could do this every single day and like literally follow these scripts, and it's taking the best ideas out there and it's mashing it up.
Oh, I completely agree. Then it just comes down to a time thing. But you're absolutely right. So you got that, and then there's a lot of content creators on YouTube that are already demonstrating, okay, so we take the script, let's say we write the text, now we make sure it sounds like a human wrote it using a different AI. So then you got that. And then they say, now, if there's this whole world on YouTube, which as a total extrovert, I don't understand the idea of make a channel, but don't have to show your face. And I'm just like, so then
what would you present? What would be the content?
Okay, so then they're showing you, here's the sites you use to create animated content from AI generated scripts. You feed the script AI wrote, you then turned it into using another AI, looks like a human wrote it, you feed it into the animation engine, gives you an animated video, you just dump that out there.
Have you seen, I would like to see that. If you find the video.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've seen a little thing on TikTok about it, but have you I'm using Midjourney.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty bad. Like,
right.
I say bad, I don't even know how to condense that into too many sentences, but it makes amazing images. But if I say like, I need a standing desk, it'll kind of make a tree shape holding up a desk, right? If I say I need a standing desk with straight, thin columns in a standard clean office, everything will be perfect except for one foot's like this, right? It's lifted up.
I see.
Some of that stuff, if you just did like create me a graphic, like if you go on LinkedIn right now to the standing desks page, I made a graphic this morning that's just a computer and I did a little photoshopping to make it look like our desk. That I think is like, if you can make graphics in seconds, custom graphics that never existed before.
Oh, absolutely.
Use Photoshop but really lifelike images, I think, are still a little ways away.
I think you're right. I think, non-lifelike things seem to work quite well. And that's the other thing I was trying to explain to somebody. It's one of these things where until you've seen an image generated by AI, you can't really explain to somebody because it's what's the word? It's not an image we have in our head.
It's nothing that's every new image is something that's never existed.
And it just because you see these pictures and you're like, oh right, yeah, I get it. I would never have done that. It's just.
Actually, I'm going to try and share my screen here in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. If it doesn't work, I can just roll over there.
I've been using it every single day for work, and I can kind of show you what I mean.
Yeah. No, I've been seeing the stuff you've been putting up. It's absolutely amazing.
Present, share screen. All right.
There you go.
So, we have obviously a very specific product, but for a social media post, this is pretty good, right?
That's AI generated?
Yeah.
The whole image?
Yeah. But what is this? What's
What's
this
what?
thing?
Well, yeah, I would love to know what that is.
So, I mean, that I could Photoshop out, but I'm saying like a person or these little ski slope feet, right? They're, the user might be like ideally the user would just scroll, look past it, maybe click on the link and just take in the vibe. But if you look close, like there's something going on over here that,
Right.
or how is this freestanding on these tiny posts? Right. Like the physics of it isn't quite perfect.
So this is through on Midjourney?
All right, I'll just show you. It takes me 30
Okay.
seconds.
Yeah.
So we paid for a plan to, tell me something you want to see, something crazy.
Okay, I'll just something crazy. A 1930s hobo working on a roof in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to make the aspect ratio.
Wow.
16 by 9, but it actually comes out 3 by 2. So there's like codes that you can go. Oh, come on, he doesn't want to do that. All right. So I don't think I like my aspect ratio. So, or maybe they're changing the versions all the time. So
that's what it didn't like. That's the funny part about it.
unrecognized argument. Yeah, I didn't like the aspect ratio. So it may take a second, but it gets pretty busy. But look, I'll just throw you through like, trying to do office desks. It gives me these variations.
I mean, it's just crazy because you and I can think back to a time when you couldn't even probably explain this to either of us. When we were in high school, we'd be like, "What do you mean
I know.
AI generated? I don't even know what that means."
Like to create this.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I've got friends who are artists and painters, and like it's scary for them, right? We pay a company good money to do renderings that look like this that actually are our product.
I have multiple friends who have told me about Chat GPT and Midjourney, and they're like, this could be oh my God, dude.
Would that take a minute?
Dude, that's absolutely insane.
Which one do you like the most? I think this one over here is pretty good.
They're all off the charts.
You got to get selective when you get this. So I'm going to do a variation of 1, 2. I'm going to do a variation of number 2.
Okay, so you don't have to answer this, but I'm curious, what are you guys paying for this plan? Or
it's
you
$60 a month.
What is it?
$60 a month.
For unlimited images?
Yeah, and if I can get this right, this image would normally cost us like $4,000.
Oh my God, dude.
But it's not our product, right? I'd have to Photoshop a lot just to get it to look like our product. It's close.
So you're with that image, you're just trying to get a representation of your product in a certain environment.
Yeah, just social media posts, something that we can make a statement about or put some text on or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how. All right, so here's variations on that.
Okay, so I need you to send me those, or just put on LinkedIn that you and I had a chat and this is what we came up with, or something like that.
Yeah. So I will up-res. Now look at this. The one you like, you pick, and you're like, I think it's actually number 4 is the best. You up-res number 4, and then you have a full-size image.
Dude, I mean, I thought I had been down this rabbit hole, but that's so whole.
Ian, this is free. Midjourney. Go to Midjourney's Discord, and then.
Well, I've been that far, but I haven't. I made like one picture, just like something basic.
Let's look at this. So this might be the most interesting thing you can see. Look at this. People from obviously they took that picture of the National Geographic.
Yep. But it's so lifelike. Okay, let's just do another one, because we can. Just do a vintage convertible coupe sports car, vintage European convertible coupe sports car in the style of Jackson Pollock. folks, if you're watching us and watching this and you're seeing AI art in Midjourney for the first time, here you go.
Okay. Pollock. All right, vintage convertible sports car in the style of Jackson Pollock. Let's give it a little more beef.
Okay, driving through the Alps in springtime.
I would like to add something weird like elephant flying above.
Perfect.
But, I mean, obviously it ruins the image, but this one's freaking sweet, dude. This is you in a couple of years.
No, it actually is me in a couple of years. That's the funny part.
A little bit more.
God, that is so wild because there's just so much detail. Like, how did it decide on that style of house, right?
It stole a bunch of art from other people. So art like this was created out there.
Right.
It probably didn't have a person in it, but maybe it had a house, and the AI can read art across the entire internet, and it creates art based on other people's art.
Yep.
So it is kind of stealing things.
Oh, and it's okay. So what I was thinking of exactly the one in the bottom right corner, kind of like an early version of like a Porsche Speedster. God, that is amazing. Can you blow one of them up?
Up res 4.
Yeah. Upscaling. Okay.
So, I mean, the interesting thing is if you don't have a specific product, right? Say you're just an advertiser who's like wants to get across an idea. Any of these can help you get across this idea without having to be product specific.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm working on. I mean, I was working on like these animations, right? Trying to do things with this to like, I come up with this. I make the single column, add like
yeah.
And then that's not too hard.
Yeah. So go back down to the one we just did for a sec. So how long would it have taken a digital artist to produce something like that from zero?
Just depends on their skill level, but probably, I mean, a lot of this is like painting, right? Digital painting.
Right.
I would say like days.
Yeah.
And it's 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, right?
It's so crazy because I'm just looking at the picture. I'm like, okay, so what if we change it to wintertime? You know what I mean? Like it just, yeah, it's.
Oh, here, and I've burned a lot of time until I was like, oh wait, maybe we can use this for work.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
All right, here's I'll send you some of these in the end, but here's your design that you've chosen.
Oh my God, dude, that is so cool. I mean, I don't know exactly which car that is, but I'm sure it's an actual modeled after a real sports car. For all the car geeks that are watching this, you can write in the comments exactly what it is.
Well, we probably asked Chat GPT what it is.
Right. I mean, that's just so. There's interesting. There's no one driving it. Isn't that kind of intriguing? It's like you didn't say it. You didn't say a driver.
That's very true. Yeah, you do have to be very specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I just put in the word standing desk, I think at first it was putting human legs on a work surface. Like it was getting it wrong. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. I'm stoked to see what else you come up with. I'm definitely taking your advice on the script thing. I'm kind of at this stage with video, and again, I was telling Randy about this. My whole motto with the home improvement DIY renovation remodel video is just giving away all of the secrets, right? There's so many little pieces of knowledge that I have, and everybody has. That's what I'm trying to do on LinkedIn, is just say it's not about making the perfect video you can possibly conceive of. It's about recording something and getting it up and seeing if it worked.
Yeah.
Because once you start seeing that they're working, I had this really interesting experience this morning. I was looking on YouTube's data on the high volume search terms that are where people are ending up watching my videos. And one of them is, which I'll pull up right now, is I just recorded this video of me scraping an old linoleum floor in the house that I'm working on. And I changed the title of the video to 40-something guy remodels house. Okay. Which takes the whole like clickability factor while you're in the infinite scroll to a whole nother level versus like floor being scraped, right? but I just on a
Like,
whim because I like.
semi-confident 40-year-old with early gray.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's relatable. Yeah.
yeah, it's totally relatable. But the funny thing is, just because I liked the sound, because the iPhone's microphone is so good now, it gets all these sound textures when you get close to doing something. So I put in the tag ASMR and unintentional ASMR, and that is like one of the top ways people are landing on my videos now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just crazy. Um,
So yeah, I just pulled I was moving mics this morning, and I've got this long, really nice. I mean, it's a high end mic. My brother-in-law gave it to me from Harman Kardon,
oh
and
wow.
it, yeah. I mean, remember you were talking about like just recording the lakeshore?
Oh, dude, that's my whole separate channel that I
Yeah.
try to chip away on. I finally did it.
Did you?
Oh yeah, here I'll pull it up here. I mean, I was totally inspired by our time together in the video, and I went down the rabbit hole of like calming nature sound videos and things like that. And
Yeah.
the genius of those channels, which I watch every once in a while, is for watch time. I mean, people just put these on in the background with a turn the screen off, and it's just the sound of waves. And the algorithm's like, thank you, no
Yeah.
problem,
Stay on
hour
it.
upon hour upon hour, right? Okay, so here's the channel. And again, I've spent really very little time on this, but so you've got the Terrence McKenna stuff, but these are the shorts I was experimenting with a couple weeks ago. They're
Hmm.
not working that well, but they're just, what you do is you just take clips of your videos in the YouTube app to create shorts,
Oh, okay.
which is, I mean,
That's
super
super.
fast. But
Yeah.
stuff like, let's see. So like this, I'm not
Oh, the
curious
Terrence
how.
McKenna stuff is doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's because the search volume on that is just completely out of control. Like people land here, right?
Right.
Something like this. So YouTube, if people started watching this video, calming nature video for anxiety, for an hour, I mean, the watch time on the channel would just be completely out of control.
Yeah.
Let's see if this will play. So this is just a loop of waves crashing.
Up an empire.
Yeah. And, it's probably a little slow from the.
An hour. It's got to load the hour in.
Right. So these are all the tags that I used.
Mm-hmm.
They're not working great, but it's just an experiment.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be honest, like that sound appeals to me very much.
I agree completely. Yeah. So you can go back here, and then you go back to the channel, right? And I that's my whole thing, is like making these videos is really low hanging fruit. The thing is, how do you get people to watch them, right?
You get some really cool animation from AI and just put the
Yeah.
sound over it.
Yep.
So I've been making Lake Michigan shoreline 3D illustrations.
Oh wow, nice.
Because I mean, I'll show you here in a second, but it's like, I don't know, it's just a simple way to see the lakeshore. I watched other people say like, do this in a 3D web illustration, and it'll create like a little diorama with the scene and give me 30 seconds. I'll show you.
That's incredible, man. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, how soon will the AI just create create a video of Lake Michigan, looks like it's real, for 2 hours, waves crashing, and it's like, I'm gonna need 20 minutes, but I'm gonna upload it to your channel. I mean,
Yep.
that can't be far off, but I still think people are gonna want to look in a real human's eyes, hear a real human talk. I mean, do you think that's true?
I mean, not forever. We spend a lot of time just trying to avoid humans.
Yeah, true.
Now it'll become like a renaissance where like, oh yeah, this thing is actually human made. Can you believe it?
Well, that's what I was talking to Randy about. I said, the thing about AI is I don't predict it's going to be able to set a toilet in the next 10 years.
Right. So yeah, physical manual tasks, like to get this picture that we're looking at, I had to.
Oh wait, you got to share the screen still.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. You're now in the show.
Oh, I have to add it. Yeah, there. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, there. Oh, damn, bro. Wow. That's just an image, right? Yeah.
I just said Lake Michigan shore 3D illustration. So I like these ones. These are really cool, like a little island diorama.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's just me thinking out loud, like, and this is great because I could take this one, Photoshop any image I wanted on this,
Yeah.
and you got a scene for the image that you're presenting. So
Yeah.
there's a ton of use for, I mean, even like to put this on social media for, I'm thinking of the Saugatuck Dunes Coastal Alliance, right? They put
I
this.
mean, dude, there's so it's just out of control.
This
Hey,
is much
give
more.
so as you know from LinkedIn and me telling you my little experiment obsession with the shorts thing. So the way TikTok created the infinite scroll situation, which myself included, people can't get away from. You start the infinite scroll, da da da. YouTube, Instagram, obviously they all copied it. And the way YouTube has it set up right now, if you upload a short that provides a bunch of value to the person or entertainment or whatever, what happens is, unlike these long form videos that sit on there forever, for example, how to install an outlet.
Right.
10 years later, someone's still watching the video, 15 years, blah, blah, blah. The short has this massive burst of views in the first 12 hours.
Yeah.
And the more YouTube thinks someone's getting something out of it, it'll have this really slow burn of views. So
it wants to try to create viral content.
Right. So let me go back to this real quick. I'm going to share my screen in a second. And all I'm trying to do with shorts is just make these little videos, again, mostly with my phone, showing people how to fix stuff around their house and how to do a remodel and how to save money and things like that. But it's been crazy to me, even if they're 10-second views, 15-second views, they just compound because you can get thousands of views on shorts in just 12 hours. And what's even crazier than that is you can get subscribers.
Yeah. Which is the real goal, because you can't do a lot of things if you don't have subscribers.
Right. So it looks like I'm sharing now, right? Oh, no. Here.
No.
Wait, that's yours. Okay, this is mine here. Okay, so this is inside my channel. So these two shorts I uploaded on the 12th, which is yesterday. This is the views just from then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
3,000 views. What are the titles?
So this is just a video about putting down peel and stick floor in the bathroom, but it's actually a video about cutting it with metal snips instead of a knife, which just saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
And this is just showing people how to use a tile tracing tool to cut flooring. This video, yeah.
Are you doing any of these uploads on TikTok too?
No. I just have to focus on one platform, or I think I'm gonna lose my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I lost mine a long time ago.
Yeah, right. So this is one of my things that so you go over to this tab and you see 5,000 views in the last 48 hours.
That's awesome, dude.
And these 3 videos alone, which are shorts, right?
Yeah.
But what blows my mind is you go to watch time. So we're talking about having a channel with videos that are an hour that play in the background. My videos are like 3 minutes max. The shorts can only be 60 seconds. But you still have 160 hours of watch time in the past 28 days.
That's insane.
Which is just absolutely nuts.
On your content.
Right. So just for kicks, let's just look at one of these shorts. So this one, I just had a ton of interaction on, and I've also dialed in on when to post these things. So here's a little chart. In the first 2 hours, 1,800 views. Now, I'm sure there's people watching this that are like, that's nothing. You're not doing very good, blah, 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 blah. For me, it's great, right?
Views is good.
Yeah. So that's just crazy. 8 subscribers off of the video that's 55 seconds about a screwdriver, I think, is a really great tool.
Yeah.
So they're just worth doing because they're easy. And
well, where do you so you say you can just take any of your videos and shorten them in the app?
Yeah. So if you have the YouTube Premium app, you go into your own channel and it will let you, the button under it. Well, so this is where it gets even crazier. I can remix my own content, but I can remix anyone's video who hasn't clicked the box, do not allow remixes.
That's interesting.
So what a lot of kids are just literally just building channels where they're going to someone else's content. They do a green screen short with someone else's video playing. They're green screening themselves in the bottom corner, reacting to that
Right,
video,
right, right.
and that's the entire channel.
Yep.
No, I mean they're producing content, but it's not really their own content, right?
Right. Yeah. I doubt even they're using a green screen. They're probably just
Yeah, and yeah, some of the green screen thing is kind of choppy, but yeah, I could just go into my own video or someone else's yours.
go into your own video. Dude, meta that thing all the way down. Like,
I'm sure someone's done it. I mean, well, so you can remix a video, talk about a video you're watching as a short, and then you can just take your own long form 16:9 content, squirrel that down to tall, and turn that into a short.
yeah, that's such a problem for me. Just for all the years that I mean, every video I create, I put titles on, right? So that the user can better understand the content, even if they're not listening to it. But if this is 16:9, like a title would be right here.
Yeah, right.
So when you shorten it, you only get this.
Oh, those titles. Yeah, no, it's there's a whole school of thought on YouTube about you should only film 16:9 in a way that you can always turn it into shorts.
Right.
I'm just like,
Yep.
come on. I mean, if I'm going to show you how to put a cabinet together, it's not going to be in this format eventually,
Well,
I mean,
to be honest, like I used to film like this, but now you film like this, right?
yeah, it just depends. I mean, I still watch a ton of stuff that's 16:9 just because
Every
I like
movie and television show, you're never going to watch a TV show. There's your
Yeah.
idea right there. Your what is it? 3x2,
Yeah.
3x3 format for a whole TV show.
I'm sure someone's making it right now.
Yeah.
But let it be known, you heard it on the DeGraaf show first, obviously. Yeah. I'm just looking at it like I'm focused on YouTube, I'm focused on remodeling this house, and along the way I'm documenting it and doing these experiments on YouTube, which tend to keep working. And just like all of this stuff, I found just putting stuff out there every single day is half the battle, if not most of the battle.
Well, you have a palette, right?
Oh yeah.
Your house is your palette. You
Right.
have a paintbrush. You got yourself and YouTube, and you can create content because it's available. I think the people that do the best content are the people that do something well consistently for years and never think to themselves, people would want to see this. And then they do one video on it and they blow up and they're like, oh, I got a bunch of stuff I can show you guys.
Right, right. It's like these two little things. I like what I'm trying to say on LinkedIn is, okay, if you're a contractor, it's one thing, save people time, show people how you cut a masonry paver. Okay, there's just an example. You got one world of people, myself, who might have to cut a paver that needs to watch this video to figure out how to do it. And you have another world that might be even bigger of people that will never cut a paver in their life or pick one up that just want to watch the content. And YouTube doesn't give one goddamn about who's watching the video.
Right.
That's the magic of the whole thing. A view is a view, kind of,
Yeah.
So
they don't care how much you like your content. They care how much other people like your content.
Right. They want people sticking on the channel, and so you can sell somebody a paver block hammer in the description on Amazon. You can sell them a guide give them a guide free how to cut pavers and put it in a patio. They can hire you. I mean, it's kind of
affiliate marketing. You could do that too, and like if your channel gets big enough, you can be like, hey, this is the tool belt I recommend. It was given to me by, you start reaching out to companies.
Oh yeah.
You got to build that subscriber base. How many subscribers do you have?
I have 94, but these are my stats. So I started back on YouTube in seriousness on the contractor videos on December 7th. Yeah. And I had 22 subscribers.
Okay. Well,
so I'm just chipping away. Yeah. And because I can, I'm going to say, here's a little shout out to Tough Built Tools, who've already commented on a video that I did about the Tough Built tool belt, which is a great tool belt. So
send him version 2 and he'll review it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. The thing about the thing about
of the people doing that stuff, like I said, goes right back to it.
Oh, absolutely. The kicker with all this tough built stuff is that it's a modular tool belt system, so you don't have to be wearing a tool belt, which is just changes everything. So Okay, want to respect your time. It's been an hour. Anything you want to toss in there? Anything else you want to talk about quick?
Just, my dog might pee on the floor here, but
Okay, well, let's let your dog out.
no.
And dude, an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Let's do it again sometime.
Yep. So you'll be seeing
reviews. If not, then we know it didn't work. So
that's exactly right. It's exactly right. Yeah, I'm just stoked for people to be. I'm such a geek about this. I love watching long form stuff where there's chapters.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, here's where Adam talks about Chat GPT and we blow everyone's minds. Click.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah, but you got to do the work to edit it until you can have AI edit it, right? There's a little
Absolutely.
work. But, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon, buddy. Bye.